Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, it is Dimma here. Welcome. Today's video is going to be a Q&A. I have not done one of these in a very long time. Insta Stories now has this new cool Ask Me feature. I was like, the best way to use this, in my opinion, is to tell you people to ask me something on Insta Stories so that I can answer it in this video. So that's what I did. If you're not following me on Instagram, you are missing out in your life. You are missing out. You need to follow me on Instagram, please. Thanks. I received a lot of questions, like about 300 to 400 questions, guys, in all honesty. There is no way that I'm going to be able to answer all of that in this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer questions that I've probably not answered before here on this channel. Let me open my Instagram. Oh my God, you guys are so funny. Okay, so I have a couple of questions here from friends and family members, like, is there a cure for Dimma addiction? Why do you love me so much? Why do you love me so much? How big is your love for me? You people, this Q&A was not for you guys, okay? Okay, so the first question is from Ifoma Made. Ifoma, you still have to tell me how to pronounce your name. This Van Flower, I think it's pronounced. Correct me if I'm wrong. So she asks, what's the easier way to apply foundation for a makeup novice? And I'd say a makeup brush. It's the easiest. Like, you can't mess it up. It's just so easy. That's what I do anyways. And I'm not really a novice. My auntie's here is like, why are you too beautiful? Thanks. Eki is there a cure for Dimma addiction? Thanks. Nello Keke, why do you love me so much? Thanks. Okay, Rare is Beautiful asks, would you say it's easy making friends as an adult? I'll honestly say that it's not at all. From my experience, I guess maybe because I'm an introvert and I'm also really shy, it's not the easiest thing for me. When I was a lot younger, it was easier. You guys could just strike up a conversation over a plate of beans and talk about how wicked your parents are, and everybody's moving along. Okay, now there are so many things that you're thinking about. I just feel like personally, it hasn't been the easiest thing for me. I know that there's this big misconception. I feel like I've gotten this from people who watch my vlogs who don't know me personally. Like, oh, Dimma, you have so many friends. I actually do not have so many friends. I don't know. I am more of like an indoors person, and I've just not found it easy, like, making friends as an adult. So this one is from Eniola Tito. He says, hi Dimma, what do you wish you could change about YouTube as a viewer and as a creator? When it comes to platforms like this that fit under the category of social media, I feel like YouTube has one of the best search engines you have for the platform itself. It's really easy for you to do a very detailed search on here, and it just doesn't, like, there are a lot of things that YouTube takes into consideration when it pulls up content. So it's not just the title, it's also what you have in the description and what you have in the tags. So I just wish I could be maybe a lot more detailed and just make it easier, I guess, with the way that they've done everything for viewers to find maybe more African content creators, like people that they can relate with or relate to easily. Make it, maybe do something that kind of makes location a factor, like a very serious factor when someone is searching on YouTube, you know? So yeah, like, let location really matter in the way that it pulls content up. That's one thing I think that they maybe could work on from the viewers' angle of things. And then from as a creator, I just feel like maybe they just need to do more with the algorithm. It's still a lot more difficult, in my opinion, especially on the Nigerian trending page, for example. There are a lot of confusing things that you'd find there. I just feel like with the way that the trending page is with YouTube Nigeria, a lot of the content that you find there are just not things I find exciting. So maybe it's just me. Some things there, I feel like they deserve to be there, but a lot of the things that end up on the Nigerian YouTube trending page, it doesn't really have anything to do with the amount of views in total that the video is getting. I think it has more to do with the amount of views that the video is getting from a certain location, so from Nigeria. But I feel like maybe they could do things to just make, or find a way to put a wide range of content there, and not just the ridiculous things that you find there sometimes. So that's the only thing I think I want to change. The next question is from Mira Irafen, I think that's how it's pronounced. Mira says, you shall know that I'm your biggest fan. Oh, thank you, Mira. She says, what keeps you going? You know, honestly, there are a couple of things that keep me going. Is not just one thing. First of all, it's just looking at the bigger picture, what I wanted to do with this like 3-4 years ago, just what I wanted to do with my channel, what I wanted it to become for me. So it just keeps me going, irrespective of all the other setbacks that come with this and how difficult things can get sometimes. Just looking at what I want to achieve with my channel, the kind of people I want to reach, also the amount of money I stand to make, because this is how I make a living. You know, I know that a lot of people don't like to talk about this, and we all like to say very nice things. I want to reach you guys. I want to connect. I want my platform to grow and keep growing. However, money is still a very big factor for me, because I'm at a point now where I'm actually living off of this. So if I think of just the amount of money that I have to make, remember that I have to buy fuel, I have to pay for light, then I get up and I do something. Okay, so the next one is from Obi_2.00. This is actually my cousin, but he actually has a good question, not like my sisters and the likes that we're here talking what I don't know. He says, when starting your YouTube career, how open were your parents? Love and miss you. Oh, Obi, I love you, miss you. They were not open to it. Okay, my dad was not open to it at all. I think I'm going to make a story time out of this, just how difficult it was for me when I came back to Nigeria and said that I was moving to Lagos to do YouTube. Hey, but mostly the kickback was because he didn't understand it. So it took us arguing a lot of back and forth and everybody talking passionately for us to actually sit down and talk, and he gets it now. And at least even if he doesn't get it, it's paying my bills. So we're all happy now, okay? But then at first it wasn't really easy. My mom, it was a bit easy with her because she's female and she'd had a lot of female friends at that point come up to her telling her, oh, they watch my videos, oh, they love it so much. So she kind of already knew and understood properly what this was about, but my dad, it wasn't that easy. So the next one is from Ronke of Naija Foodie. She asks, what's your favorite thing to eat? My favorite thing to eat is abacha. I've said this a couple of times here on this channel. If it's not abacha, then it's fried yam and egg sauce. I love these two things to death. I've said it before that if I'm in the hospital and something is wrong with me and you bring abacha or you bring fried yam and sauce or pepper sauce and I refuse to take it, whatever is wrong with me is serious, okay? It's serious. The next question is from Udoka Jane. She asks, what inspires you to be consistent? How do you motivate yourself? Inspiration, honestly, what inspires me to be consistent, outside of a couple of the things that I talked about earlier, it's also just looking at people who I used to watch on this platform, looking at how much they've grown, how financially secure they are, the kind of opportunities that YouTube and content creation has brought their way. Like, aside from just the money that I make to get by now, just looking at where I have the potential to be, that keeps me going. Jackie Aina is like one of my biggest sources of inspiration. Makeup Shayla is also very inspiring. There are quite a lot of them who are doing really well. Okay, a lot of you don't actually know this, but every time that Forbes releases their list of young millionaires every year, especially in the US, a good percentage of those people are YouTube content creators. I don't think that there's any other social media platform that has made millionaires as much as like YouTube has made millionaires. So I look at all of that and it just motivates me and it really just keeps me inspired. The next one is from Dark Chocolate Creature. She asks, what was the hardest thing to adjust to when you moved back to Nigeria, and how's the dating scene in Lagos? I get this question all the time and a lot of you actually don't know this, but I did not stay away from Nigeria for a very long time. I think a lot of you just have this big misconception that I grew up in the UK or something, or that I lived there for a long period of time. Actually, I didn't. I was in the UK for like max a year and a half doing my master's. A year and a half, 2 years. I was there doing my master's, but I literally was here. When I started my YouTube channel, all the videos that I put up from the beginning of my channel to 2012 up until 2014, I filmed in Lagos and in Enugu. Then I went to do my master's, and the videos that I put up in 2015, I put up from the UK. So the shift wasn't really big. Like, it was already, like, Nigeria was what I was used to. The UK was foreign, you know. I went there, lived there for a while, and then I just came back to the familiar. So the dating scene in Lagos for me so far, I don't know, I'm still like this about it. It hasn't been really good for me so far. Like, I've met some really weird people since I moved here, and my resolution right now is to not have anything to do with anybody who maybe started off by watching me on YouTube. I'd rather just meet someone, because I know that the thing about YouTube is that people kind of feel like they know you, which is a good thing, but then again, it could also be a bad thing, especially for, let's say, someone who is interested in someone and you go watch all my videos and you automatically think you know everything about me, and then it's almost like, when, I don't know, okay, it hasn't just been good so far. So hopefully it gets better, but right now, as I'm filming, it hasn't been really good. The next question is from Vivian Okeze, and she asks, where do you see yourself in 5 years? For me, 5 years from now, I see myself married with kids, at least with 1 million subscribers here on YouTube, and with a thriving business on the side as well. So this one is from Tayo Aina Films, and this question is in 2 parts, but I feel like the second part was cut off. The first one says, how do you handle balancing your work life with your real life as a creative? And honestly, this is something that I still struggle with. It's something that I genuinely still struggle with. So I was in America for like a month, but I wasn't vlogging that much. If you guys paid attention, like I wasn't vlogging every day of the week or even up to 3 times a week. And it's because it's so easy for everything to get like really blurred. Like you're not really enjoying the moments. Like every time something is happening, you're looking for your camera, and it's stress. It can be really stressful, But then the thing is to just figure out, I think, consciously, subconsciously, just try to figure out what you think warrants the effort. What are people genuinely going to be interested in? You can't vlog everything, so it's just, to me, that's what I'm trying to do right now. It's not perfect, but I'm still trying. So the next thing is from Mohammed Awal, okay? And he asks, do you chew your swallow or you swallow it? What kind of question is this? First of all, if it was supposed to be chewed, it would be called chew, okay? Eforiro and chew. Onubo and chew, egusi and chew. What is it called? Swallow. It's because you're supposed to swallow it. That's what I do. So the next question is from Ademi Dede. I think that's the pronunciation. And she asks, would you consider doing makeup for clients for special events like weddings? No, right now it's something I used to do 2014. 13. I used to take bookings, but then I stopped. And in all honesty, it was never something I wanted to do. But doing what I was doing, making videos, getting views, I felt like a lot of people were just pushing me towards, oh, start doing makeup and start charging people for this. But then again, I always wanted to follow up on the content creation or content creating part of it. I wanted to sit down and create content and make money that way. So this is also very good for anyone who is looking, like if you have a flair, if you're interested in makeup, just know that it's not necessarily always artistry. That is the next step. The next step isn't always artistry. You can actually create content and make money off of that, okay? The next one is from I Am the Black Muse, okay? And he asks, what's the greatest misconception about your lifestyle? People just think I'm chilling, okay? People literally think I am chilling. I remember that sometime beginning of this year, I was having so much anxiety that I had to start outsourcing a lot of things. I had to get an assistant for sure. I had to even start outsourcing some of my editing because I couldn't sleep at night. It's so much work that people don't understand. But it's till you begin to do this that you know the amount of work required, okay? I've told you people this before. Filming is about 2 to 3 hours filming. Editing is, the shortest video for me is like 7 hours. Shortest speed for like a 5-minute clip, 7 hours editing. Outside of that, the actual content creation, you're replying emails, you're your own agent, you're doing invoice, you're also sending out proposals looking for who to work with. It's just a lot of work that doesn't look like a lot of work. And the thing about it is that a lot of creatives in what I'm doing, especially like YouTube, we make our videos look very casual. So, and sometimes I just look at it and I shake my head, and it's so much work that you put into making something look casual when the madness behind it isn't. Does that make sense? Okay, so the next one is by Tresses by June.ng, and she asks, how hard/easy is dating in Lagos? I already kind of explained this. For me, it hasn't been that easy so far. My experience has been like this. It hasn't been that marvelous, but you never know. The next one is, are you single, as in, are you dating anyone? The 2 questions are the same. So the next question is from Jachi11, and she says, tell us a story about the cut on your neck. By the way, love your videos and you are super gorgeous. Aww, thank you so much. So if you've been following me for a very long time, you actually know all about this scar. If you haven't, it's a scar from a surgery that I had in 2014. I had a total thyroidectomy. So basically what that means is that I took my thyroid glands out. Everything. So I don't have thyroid glands anymore. I had a big goiter and it just kept on growing. If you look closely at some of the videos that I had up in 2014, my neck was a bit swollen in those videos. I even remember making conscious effort to kind of zoom in so that you guys don't see it. But I don't have any, hypo or hyperthyroidism, because I get emails about this all the time. A lot of people actually think that I do. Even before I had the goiter taken out, I didn't have any of the two. It was just a goiter. It was just like the glands swollen, increasing in size. So I had to take them out. The next one is from Chris Keller, and she asks, when you started YouTube, how did you get brands to acknowledge your existence and work with you? First of all, when I started YouTube, I didn't even know that I could make money off of YouTube, and as a result I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning. One of the biggest mistakes I remember making, and the reason why a lot of my earlier videos are not even monetized, is because I wasn't even using copyright-free music. I'm not gonna lie and say that I hadn't even heard at the time that people could make money. I knew I had heard that people could make money, but I didn't know that it was actually possible. It took me going to a meeting at the YouTube office in Ikoyi, and I remember that they sat me down and they were like, you have to stop using these Nigerian songs in your videos because they're going to keep flagging them. And the thing that happens when YouTube flags your videos is that they're still monetized. However, the money is not going to you. The money is going to whoever has filed a copyright claim for whatever you've used in that video without permission. And that is me even talking about the AdSense end of things. I didn't even know that brands could pay you. So growth attracts brands. So if brands are looking for people with an audience and your audience looks attractive, it will attract them. However, there's also nothing wrong with you going out to attract them yourself, like send them proposals. The next one is from Sylvia Livewell, and she asks, advice to an upcoming blogger on how to monetize their platform. One thing to do is to sign up as a YouTube partner. That's one way. So if you sign up as a YouTube partner, you sign up and what that basically does is that it gives YouTube the right to place ads in your videos. So you see, every time you're watching a YouTube video and there's an ad playing before the video plays, that person is monetized. The person is a YouTube partner and the person has given YouTube the right to put ads on their videos. The next one is from Fav Lucino, and she asks, you are very humble and beautiful. I like that about you. Keep it up. Oh, this is not a question, but thank you so much. The next one is from Queen Tracy, and she asks, your pictures are so nice. What phone or camera do you use? I'm sure that she's talking about my Instagram pictures, and the truth is that when it comes to Instagram pictures, I always take pictures with whatever I have handy. So with a lot of the pictures I have on Instagram, it's either my phone, it could be my Canon 5D Mark III. That's my most recent camera, the most expensive camera that I own. And it could be my vlogging camera, because most of the time that's the one camera that I carry around, and that's my Sony a5100. So it could be any of them. And to edit, I use 3 apps: Snapseed to do basic edits, and sometimes for filters and basic edits as well, Visco. And then the one that I've been using a lot recently is Lightroom. So, but with Lightroom is a lot more technical. Lightroom mobile, it's a lot more, I don't know, it's not as easy. The interface is not as easy as Snapseed and Visco, but I use Lightroom a lot to edit my Instagram pictures. The next one is from Dapperman Lagos, and he asks, why are you such a beautiful queen? Oh, thank you. The next one is from Winnie_Wanja_, and she asks, could you ever dye your hair? Never. It's not even something that crosses my mind. I dyed my hair when I was a lot younger, like a year after leaving secondary school back in 2007. I was obsessed with Michelle of Destiny's Child's hair at the time. Like, I was obsessed with the hair color that she was rocking at the time, and I dyed my hair this golden copper color. My hair cut so much. That was such a terrible experience. The thing about it is that it weakens your hair so much, and if you think you're taking care of your hair now, putting color in it means that you have to like double your efforts when it comes to moisturizing and deep conditioning and all of that. So I don't think I'm going to be dyeing my hair anytime soon. The next one is from Lucci_, and she says, can I combine makeup, YouTube, and studying radiography? I'm a great fan. Your videos have taught me a lot. You can do it. I feel like it's a lot of work, especially if you're looking to grow your channel and make it really big. School might get in the way, but can you do it? Yes. A lot of the big YouTubers we have here are also students as well. If you're in an environment that enables you, that helps a lot. Those in the UK, US, I feel like they are so good at doing this because there's electricity, there's internet, it makes everything easy. But if one or two of these are missing, it could get really difficult for you. So the next one is from IamJuju_KB, and she asks, what is it like to be the firstborn in an African home? The firstborn in an African home, okay, means that you're the third parent. That's what it means in summary, okay? Because you're responsible for so many things, you get blamed for so many things. Your sibling's mistake is your mistake, Okay, where were you when they were making that mistake? The responsibilities are endless and it doesn't reduce with you growing up. The next one is from Denzelina, and she says, where did you buy the sisterhood t-shirt from? Love it and I want to buy it. Okay, this is a t-shirt that I had on Instagram. Yeah, I got it from Forever 21 last year. The next one is from Nikki Tus, and she says, hi Dimma, could you please share a few tips on productivity and time management? Many thanks. I'm still a novice when it comes to productivity and time management. One thing that has been helping me a lot is making lists. Okay, I like to make lists. I wake up in the morning and I make a to-do list. It could be on my phone, it could be something that I pin to the board that I have somewhere here, and it's just a visual reminder of all the things I have to do so that I don't forget. Like visual reminders telling me this is exactly what you're supposed to be doing at this time. It helps me a lot. The next one is from Dolores_Bonjour. I don't know if that's the pronunciation, and she asks, I want to ask you, can you make a video about the equipment for your videos? Stay blessed. So if you guys want me to do a filming, I think I'm actually going to do this. I'm not going to ask because I know that some of you have low-key been requesting this for a while. So I'm going to do a video showing you guys my setup, the cameras that I use to film, my tripod and all of that, just my entire setup. And I'm also going to tell you guys what I used to edit. But then if you guys want to know what I used to film now, I use a Canon 80D with a Sigma 18-35mm lens, and to edit I use Final Cut Pro. The next one is from Khadija, and it's how tall are you? I've said this a couple of times. I am 5'10". The next one is, how do you deal with hate on social media? The way that I deal with hate on social media is that I just don't take it personally. I just don't, okay? I know that I'm making it sound easy, but the minute I started doing this, it helped me a lot. I used to be so like this about negative comments, but I'm not like that anymore. I just feel like for someone to get up in the morning and come on any social media platform to just spew hate, like type hateful things at another person, there is something wrong with you. And I think that is the way to look at it. Look at it because you have to be dealing with so much inside that you have to come out insulting people or telling them, like, there's constructive criticism and then there is pure hate. We all know how constructive criticism goes. The next one is, hi Dimma, if you were not a beauty influencer, what will you have been? If I was not a beauty influencer, if I didn't between 2013 2014, if I didn't start taking this seriously, I'll probably be working in a bank because I did banking and finance in my undergrad. If I was living in a completely different country, or if Nigeria was a different country where we actually took things like history seriously, I would have done history in uni and I would have been working in a museum or something right now. The next one is, please talk about affordable primer for oily skin. I'm not going to even lie to you guys. I've not had very good experiences when it comes to affordable primers for oily skin. I've just not. My favorite primers are not affordable. I'm going to keep looking and then I'm going to let you guys know. I know a lot of good affordable foundations, but I've just not found a primer, an affordable primer that I think is worth it right now. The next one is from Ruth_Vanny95. What is your purpose in life and what has God called you to do? I believe that God has just called me to reach people right now. That is what I honestly believe. To reach people with what I can do, teach people what I can teach them based on the talents that He has given me. And I'm trying to do that to the best of my ability right now, and also give people someone to relate to, because that's something I take really seriously, honestly. My stories and some of the things that I have gone through, talking about them here has helped a lot of you. And yeah, the next one is from Lovette_IJ, and she asks, what do you see happening in the YouTube makeup space? It's starting to seem stale. The thing about the YouTube and the beauty space, you know, honestly, is that it just keeps evolving. And you have to be on your feet, like literally on your toes, because if you're not evolving with it, you're going to become redundant. That is what has happened to some of our favorite channels here, not evolving to match. And then you just have to keep up. And it's not about complaining and being like, oh, the beauty space used to be this and that, and now it's not this. In all honesty, I think that the consumers actually drive the kind of content that people put up here on YouTube. A lot of people are thinking, oh, they don't do no more makeup tutorials as much as they used to anymore. It's always like something sensational now with thumbnails and titles that look a certain way. It's the things that attract the most clicks. One thing I know right now is that, from what I understand it to be, is that YouTube, just the beauty community, is just not tutorials and like without personality anymore. There has to be something else backing the entire thing up. And that's the reason why I see some people complain sometimes that some of the big beauty people here are not even the most artistic people. People are looking, I honestly strongly believe that people come on YouTube looking for who to relate to and not necessarily to learn. Okay, and I've seen that. I've also noticed that the easier a tutorial is on my channel, the more popular it is. People are looking for things that they consider to be easy. People are looking for who to relate to. Artistry is good and there are people killing it in that section, but I just see it evolving to be a space where personality just keeps trumping everything. You have to bring more to the table than just artistry. The next one is from _Olivia with 2 A's. 3 A's actually. And she says, what advice would you give your 20-year-old self? And to just not stress too much. To know that things are just going to be fine. To know that you're going to grow past the things you think you're feeling right now. Because I am still a sensitive person, not to the point where it just affects me too much. I used to be a lot more sensitive. And to know that you're going to get to a point where it's just easier dealing with things, not to stress it too much, and begin to really think of what you want to do with your life. At 20, you should be thinking of where you see yourself 10 years from now and begin to work towards it. Another thing again that, in all honesty, I will tell the 20-year-old me is to know that what you're feeling and the things you want out of life are okay. I remember when I was 20, I was surrounded by girls my age who all they were talking about at that point in time was marriage. I knew a lot of girls when I was 20 who literally all they were thinking about at that point was marriage. You know, I will be the one in the group who have ideas like, oh, I want to do this, I want to start a business and I want to do this. I always had plans that were just way bigger and beyond that. But then the thing about it is that if you're surrounded by people that don't match that energy, that are not thinking like you, it can actually pull you back. And as a result, I used to be so conscious I wouldn't talk about the things I really wanted out of life because I thought I was supposed to be wanting other things, if that makes any sense. So just know that whatever you want out of life is okay and that you can actually pursue it. You can make it work. So the next question is from IamNi_Chawai. I don't know if that's a pronunciation, but she asks, what is the best type of brush for a flawless foundation application? I would say a flat-topped brush. My favorite is the Sigma F80, so check the Sigma F80 out. I'm going to plug in real quick that if you're getting anything from Sigma, I have a discount code with them. Use it to get some money off. So use the code DIMMA, DIMMA, and you're going to get money off your order. And they deliver to Nigeria. The next one is from Fatih Alkali, _Alkali, and she asks, how do you come up with what to charge for doing sponsored posts, ads, etc. There are actually websites that help you set these rates. One that I'd highly recommend is Social Blue Book. I know that there are a couple more, but Social Blue Book is the one that I remember using seriously sometime last year. But the thing about it is to also take a lot of factors into consideration. So for example, Social Blue Book will give you a suggested rate. Then you factor in things like your location and stuff like that, and then that will help you just come up with something to charge. The next one is from Winnie_D, and she asks, does YouTube pay and do you enjoy what you do? I absolutely love what I am doing, and yes, YouTube does pay. I already explained this. The next one is from Ezu Gumari, and she says, any advice you could give to Nigerians studying abroad? Love you. Honestly, the period that I was studying abroad, it wasn't one of the best in my life. It was really kind of a difficult period for me because it can get really easy to get lost. But one thing I'd say is to try and make friends, connect with other Nigerians, and just face your work, like face school. That is really important. You can go watch my video on how I almost failed my master's. It's a bit difficult getting into the hang of things, especially if you did your undergrad in Nigeria, but just try, okay? This is Trauma_OKR, and she says, what is your opinion to interracial relationships or not from the same tribe? And honestly, I'm actually open to it. Okay, I am honestly open to it. At first, at the time in my life, I used to be like, oh my god, I cannot wait to date people from this, and then you actually try it a bit and you kind of understand what people's reservations tend to be when it comes to that. Mainly because sometimes the differences can be overwhelming, but then I feel like if you're going to do that, just keep an open mind to all of it. And I know that in Nigeria here, we can all be very tribalistic. Nobody wants their child from this tribe marrying somebody from this other tribe, but you just have to keep an open mind. And as long as the person that you're with or you're trying to date is willing to try and is willing to accommodate all the differences that come with just, you know, being different like that, then of course you can give it a try. The next one is, where are you from? I'm from Anambra State in Nigeria. How did you discover your passion for makeup? Honestly, I think I've said this before, but I used to have very bad skin and I just thought that just cover it up and you'll be all right. No, that's not what you should be doing. So what I was doing, because my skin used to be very bad, I'd go buy makeup and I thought that covering it up would help me with the way that my skin looked, and obviously it did not help. But then what came out of that was that I started practicing makeup and I genuinely fell in love with makeup. That's how I developed a passion for this. Dimma, please, this is from Ebi_Holy, and she asked, Dimma, please, is there an easy way to take out facial hair? Any good hair removal you can recommend? And I'd say I actually use facial waxing strips. So I use them. I use the little one from Veet. You can also get some from ShopRite and just use it to pull the hair off in this direction. I also use these shaving blade kind of things. I got this particular one from Miniso. You can use these like if you're in a hurry, but to get like results that last, use like a facial waxing strip, or you can thread them off as well. Go to Stella's Addiction. The next one is from Thoriso Moseneke. I hope I pronounced that right. And she said, would you ever come to SA for a master class or a meet and greet? Love you, girl. I'm actually thinking of coming to South Africa by the beginning of next year. Hopefully I do it. Okay, so it's something I'm working on that right now. Okay, so I'm going to take two more and that's it. Okay, so the last two are, how old are you? And this is from Yasmin.Fury, and it's, how old are you? I'm 28. I turned 28 in June. I was born in 1990. I've said this a couple of times here. The next one is from _Ahini_, and she says, how did you build relationships during your master's degree? This is actually a very good question, because for a very long time after I studied masters, when I was in Warwick, like I had Nigerians, but I wasn't like, I was still kind of alone. I knew some Nigerians, but see, there are also certain things that you don't expect to get from people outside of the country that you get sometimes, and it made me really, really conscious. But oh my God, halfway through, started meeting some really amazing people and I made friends, and we just connected over schoolwork. It's like a common ground that all of you can talk about. This assignment or this lecturer, that was how I started, and that was how I did it, you know. So I know that it can be a little bit difficult, but that's one way that you can. Okay, so that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I tried to answer as many questions as I could. I'm losing sunlight. You guys can see that I barely have any light left, so I'm going to do this again. Maybe you guys should let me know so that I'll answer maybe the rest of the questions that I got. I'm actually really surprised that nobody asked me if I was pregnant, because after I came back from the abroad, not all the children, respect yourself, okay, a lot of people actually were on Instagram commenting that I looked pregnant. Please, I beg you people, in the name of God, it's fat, it's rice and beans. Okay, I hope you guys enjoy this. I'll see you guys in my next one.